What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls Postgame, presented to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download that app and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. What's up, Joey?
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at the first comment. Like he's Juan came out of the gate. Ricky Henderson, baby.
Wow. I feel like we should shut this down because it's already out of hand.
And bring it back and restart it again.
Oh, goodness, Bulls Nation.
Oh,
hello. I am Pack. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Pack. This is my guy, Big Dave. He is at BAL, BNWL Sports. Our pal and producer, Joey, over there. Follow him, too. He's at Joey Spathis. We are CHGO_Bulls. Hopefully, we'll hear from our guy, Willie Gottlieb, who is at the UC reporting from tonight's game.
Give me up, Joey.
The Bulls lose 126-103 is the final to the Nuggets of Denver. I would call that not just a loss.
QB1?
I would call that a really, really ugly loss.
It was ugly. It was unattractive. I hated it. Didn't like it. We kind of knew it was coming, but still, when it happens to you, it doesn't feel good. It's not something you want to look at. But I don't want to start the show like this.
You don't?
I don't.
How
Joey,
would you like to start the show?
I want to start it with Bull Don't Lie, his comment. Nobody should be forced to relive and talk about the horrors that was the Bulls' performance tonight. Instead, drink some beer, watch some Justin Fields highlights, and prep for the next one.
What about a little Liquid Death instead of a beer?
That will count. I'll grab mine. We'll prepare for the next one. Joey, could you play us some Justin Fields highlights, please?
Please.
We would enjoy to watch something like that. Because
Please.
Bull Don't Lie would love to see some Justin Fields highlight because he feels people would need to see this, and I completely agree. Here's one for you.
That's all I wanted to do today was watch Justin Fields.
Oh, look at that.
Dude.
Oh, bring it in.
That man breaks tackles like nobody's business. And that first touchdown rush
Joey.
where he just trucked through those two guys right at the goal line.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Oh, we're going another one? Okay, what are we doing? We're going another one. Okay, here we go. Ooh.
The 50-yard bomb to Mr.
Cole
Komet.
Komet. God. Give him the swing, Cole. Ugh. Yeah, we'll save that little one for later. Thank you, Joey. I feel so much better.
Couldn't get a Bears dub or a Bulls dub today. It was
Yeah.
a rough Sunday, you guys.
Yeah, it was a tough one, man.
But the thing that brought us the most joy, unquestionably, was Justin Fields.
Without a doubt, without any doubt in the world, it was Justin Fields.
Justin Fields would have helped the Bulls lose by less than 23 tonight.
That would have been fun.
If he put on a pair of sneakers.
I think so. I mean, run that 4.40, the vision that he has, you know what I'm saying?
Soldier Field and United Center, not that far apart.
Not that far.
He could have gotten there well before tip-off.
Tim Sinclair would have brought him.
Exactly.
And dropped him off
Tim
right
Sinclair
there.
did both games.
Yes, he did.
Justin could have done both games.
Could have did two things, man.
Good Lord.
It's all right. But we had to sit and watch the Bulls do that. 126-103, as Matt said, was the final score. Not much to break down as far as the Bulls are concerned. They came out from the gate flat. Like flat from the beginning. You're going against a team that is the best three-point shooting team in the league, and I mean wide open looks is what they got. Wide open spaces is what they got. Some wide open looks, man. And Michael Porter Jr. was the main one of making the Bulls pay with his 31 points on 16 shots. 6 of 9 shooting from the three-point line.
My
he was
goodness.
11 of 16. Of course, he had all his free throws. I mean, just wide open shot. They really were just for real wide open shots that he had. Hey, Ryan, how you doing, friend? It was like that for him tonight, man. And the Bulls had nothing for him, man.
Gross. I like how Ryan just showed up to gloat in our comments.
How's he doing? What's he gloating
I don't
about?
care how's Ryan's doing. I'm sure he's fine.
Hey, Ryan, it's good to see you, man.
Got a W. Hi, RK.
Hey, buddy. No, that's Ryan. What's that? How you pronounce this, Joey?
Koenigsberg.
Koenigsberg. Thank you very much.
I
think we're rolling with it.
The frustrating part for Bulls fans tonight has to be the fact that this is how they came out after having their biggest stretch of rest days since the season began.
Correct.
You just came off of having 3 nights off.
Yeah.
Haven't played since Wednesday.
Yeah.
And you play like this.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable. And people in sports, whether it's the Bears are a football team coming off their bye week, or it's the NBA, and you're like, hey, we just coming off of 3 nights off. People always talk about the whole rest versus rust thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've never believed that rust is a thing that should be an excuse. You got rest. The Bulls had a gauntlet through the first 2.5 weeks of their NBA schedule. You finally get 3 days rest, and you come out looking flat as hell like that. There's no excuse for that. And I've seen some people in the comments already saying, is it the coach? Is it Billy Donovan who you point to say you just had 3 days off? Is it the coach's fault that your team does not come out better prepared than that after having that stretch of days off? Or is it the players? I mean, I've never really known who to blame more because we're not in the locker room. We don't know what's going on leading up to tip-off.
Right.
All I know is that whether it's the coach's fault or the player's fault, you can't do that after having 3 days off.
What he said. That one I'm not going to put on Billy. And, I've been critical of him this year, as far as, rotations and things. But I'm not going to put that on Billy. Like you said, 3 days off, Matt, had some rest. You come out, and, guys, you just want to see some effort. I thought DeMar was putting in effort defensively in the first quarter. That's how he drew those 2 fouls really early going against what's his name? What's the guy's name? Number 50. I'm looking at dunk contest, man.
Oh, Aaron Gordon?
Gordon, thank you. Aaron Gordon. He was putting in effort going against him on both ends, actually, because, Gordon is big. He's going to be tough to defend. But at the other end, DeMar can get a better shot, against him. So he was trying to utilize that on both ends of the floor. And, of course, he's not a great defender, but I'm just saying about the effort. That's all I'm talking about. I mean, outside of him, man, the effort just wasn't there for the Bulls. The Nuggets got whatever they wanted. It started with the MVP, the reigning MVP, with Jokic, getting those guys in position to get whatever they wanted. Man, he was look, he didn't even score 10 points.
No.
I wish
their only starter not in double figures, by the way.
I should look that up because I'd like to know the last time he hasn't been in double figures. Maybe it's sooner than I think, but it just feels like that's been a while.
Yeah.
But 14 assists, the passes that this dude was throwing. My God, you just marvel at. I marveled more at the passes than I did the shooting because, they were precise right there. And I love what Stacey said in his analysis of Jokic. She's like, Jokic is like, if this ain't going right, as soon as he recognizes a mismatch, and he's got a little guy on him, he's like, yeah, I'm going down in the hole and I'm a beast and I'm going to eat. And that's exactly what he did. As soon as he recognized he had a guard on him, nope, ball, reset, give me the ball. I'm bigger than him. Let's take it inside. But the passes he was throwing inside to the other guys who were getting mismatches or, the great rub screens that they were running as well, it was just a work of art, honestly. And they carved him up real nasty. And, yeah, the Bulls had to take that one, man. But a lot of that, I wanted to see more effort. I did. But some of that, you just like, dude, that's just a better basketball team.
Right. I think there is some of that. And our guy, Mark K., who's hanging out in the comments, what's up, Mark, said
hey,
that,
Mark.
He's jealous of our DNVR friends who get to watch not only Jokic, but this starting lineup, which in Mark's opinion is a legitimate championship contender level of good. And I don't disagree with that. When you and me and Will sat here a few weeks back and did our prediction of how the East and West seedings were going to pan out, I had Denver 1 in the West.
I remember.
They got off to a bit of a rocky start, but this win tonight now puts them at 9-4, and they are climbing up those Western Conference standings.
Getting comfortable.
With a healthy and out there doing his thing Jokic, Jamal Murray coming back, a healthy Michael Porter Jr., plus Gordon, plus KCP, who's a nice addition to that team.
Very nice.
Bones Highland was out tonight, but he is a legit player for that. Like, this is a very, very good Nuggets team.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know any Bulls fans out there who have logic in addition to their pro Bulls fan bias who would debate the fact that Nuggets team is a better team than the Bulls are. But that doesn't mean it's an excuse to play the way you played tonight and lose by 23.
And let's not forget their favorite player, Christian Braun. Christian Braun. Oh, he's got a little dirt in him, man. Christian Braun's got some dirt under his nails. I go to check him, dog. That dude, he gonna do something. That's all I'm saying. He's gonna do something. He's got something, Matt.
I don't like him. He's just waiting to trip somebody.
He is. It's something. He's gonna do something. I'm just saying, he's gonna do something, man. It's gonna happen. But I like the fire and intensity he plays with, and he can shoot the basketball at least, and he does. And he's very deadpan in his face. But yeah, I'm sure they're gonna love him in Denver. I promise you. And Bones Highland isn't even out there yet because he was injured. Ish Smith didn't play.
Your boy,
he was my guy, the legend, the legend himself. Ish Smith didn't play because he was out there hurt. But yeah, man, the Bulls just got simply worked from the first quarter on. When they cut the lead to 11, it was like Denver was like, okay, now we got to play again. And I mean, the lead ballooned it right back up to 20.
Yeah.
Like that. You know what I mean? Like that. It was on the back of basically Michael Porter Jr., who hit those two huge back-to-back threes. Basically sealed the game in the third quarter. Like, we were like, this game's over. I had a friend of mine who I always talked about the Bulls game with during the Bulls game. Shout out my man According to Sources, man. Great podcast. He was, basketball takes. He's breaking stuff down for me. After the second quarter, he was like, man, I turned that shit off. He's like, I'm not watching this tonight. I'm not doing this tonight. I cut that shit off. He did not want any part of that tonight, man. And I can't blame him. It was a tough thing to watch. Watch the Bulls just get worked like that.
Ricky in the comments said we played as if a bunch of guys just met up in a pickup gym with zero chemistry.
Ooh.
Honestly, it may have been worse than that.
Ooh.
Sometimes when you're just going to play pickup at the park, at a gym, whatever, and you get thrown into a random mishmash of players who you don't know, everybody, maybe the chemistry is an issue, but at least you're all trying hard.
Yeah.
Because everybody's trying to prove that they're worthy of out there playing pickup.
Yeah.
Tonight, the Bulls didn't look interested in playing.
Yeah, they didn't. You're right.
Which that to me is the biggest problem of tonight. And I know people in the comments talking about this offense that seems kind of broken. The Bulls' half-court offense did not look good tonight.
No, it didn't.
There were several possessions down the floor where you and or I were running like guys yelling, "What are you running?"
They made me
not
throw
running
something.
plays, killing clock, taking bad shots, late in shot clocks.
Yeah, they made me throw things.
And obviously, we've seen this Bulls half-court offense face some issues already this season.
Yes.
But again, and it sounds like a meathead take. Tonight, I don't think it is. They looked disinterested in playing basketball tonight. You're on your home floor after a nice stretch of days off. Other than a couple of strong takes from Zach and DeMar, what were they doing out there tonight?
And also Io had a bunch of strong takes tonight. He was like, nope, I'm going. Fine, nobody else wants to go, I'm going. He went to the bucket, and he was trying, you know what I'm saying, to galvanize his team in that sort of way. But you needed more than that. You know what I'm saying? They just needed more. Io needed more help than that, and they just didn't have it tonight, man. They weren't in it.
And look, the Nuggets are a smart team. They're a well-coached team.
Correct.
And I think they know what many of the opponents that have already faced these Bulls know, which is, look, unless you deal with DeMar and or Zach excelling and beating double teams, make someone else beat you.
Yeah.
And they know that this Bulls team struggles behind the three-point line.
Yeah.
Beating a dead horse, we know.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the skill that the Nuggets have behind the three-point line, one of the most elite teams in the league at that.
Very true.
Tonight, very on brand. They don't jack a bunch, but they're efficient. 13 of 27, nearly 50% behind the three-point line for the Nuggets. Meanwhile, a very similar pair of numbers for the Bulls, 6 of 22.
Ooh, tough.
How the hell are you supposed to win NBA games hitting 6 threes? 6!
6 things. That's tough. And Zach, he definitely had it tough because he was 1 of 6.
1 for 6
from the 3-point line. He definitely had himself a tough game out there for them, man. Yeah, it wasn't there. We saw DeRozan take a 3, and immediately you and I were like, no, don't do that. And it did not end well. Yeah, the 3-point shooting was for me, the issue I talked about the most when we were talking about what the Bulls addressed in the offseason. And it wasn't the interior defense. You know what I mean? I was like, you can find ways to get around that because you got a rebounder. You know, getting a rebound is a defensive stop. So that was my concern. My concern, you can't fake shooting. You know what I mean? You got to have shooters in here some kind of way, man. And guys, also, you're looking at life without Kobe right now. You know what I mean? You like it? It's cool. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need shooters, man. You know, you got to have that. You can't just be all get rid of Kobe, you know, without something else there. You know what I mean? Like not having Kobe White out there and not even saying like was killing them as far as like 40% shooting. I'm just saying as far as the threat. You know what I mean? Like somebody you have to actually say, oh, we got to run out on him. We got a game plan for this guy. That's not on the floor for you right now. And you're seeing what's happening. That's a serious struggle for this team right now, man. They got to find that shooting somewhere, Matt. They have to find that three-point shooting because you cannot compete in today's NBA without it.
Joe Harris?
Hey, Joe Harris.
Did I hear someone say Joe Harris?
Come through, bro.
Okay. I know the love that you have for Kobe.
I do have
And
love.
I'm not saying I don't have love for Kobe also. But tonight, to me, that's not just about not having Kobe White, your occasional hot and occasional cold.
No, it's many
threat.
things, but it's one of them. It's many things.
It's one of them.
Come on with it.
But tonight, to me, was a flaw exposure of so much more than don't have Kobe out there, don't have Lonzo, team lacks three-point shooting.
Mm-hmm.
That is a flaw of this roster, and it's perhaps the most glaring one.
Mm-hmm.
And coupled with that, we know that this team has a very small margin for error.
Yes.
They need to play damn near perfectly with the pieces they have,
Correct.
especially against elite competition like Denver,
Correct.
to give themselves a chance to win every night.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the compounding issue of roster flaw and then playing like you don't give a shit that gets me upset. Because there's not a whole lot as a fan you can do about that other than to observe what the problem is and be pissed off that you're watching that junk. I'm watching a flawed roster get beaten mercilessly by a much better team who much more effectively execute their game plan.
Yes.
And do so looking like they care about a win versus a loss.
I agree.
All of that has me pretty pissed off tonight.
Yeah, and again, the things that will always piss you off is effort.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That will always get to you is the lack of effort. And from the first quarter, that's what it looked like. And that's what it touched on. It's like, where's the effort? You know, where's the energy? You know what I'm saying? Where's the guy who out there putting it in? You saw Dragic, I guess, try to do it, you know, getting a technical foul, you know, and stuff like that. You saw it try to happen. Caruso tried, you know what I'm saying, to do it, but it wasn't sustainable for some reason for this team. They just did not have that energy. And we thought going into this break, that's why we were like, yeah, go rest. You know what I mean? Get some breaks because the Bulls had played the third hardest schedule in the NBA, the Chicago Bulls. Matter of fact, out of all Eastern Conference teams, Bulls have the toughest schedule. Out of all the Eastern Conference teams, it's the Chicago Bulls, the toughest schedule in the Eastern Conference, and the third toughest in the entire NBA. So, yeah, they needed some and doing it not only tough-wise, the teams they're playing back-to-back, you know what I'm saying, like coming just nonstop, you know what I mean, not getting those 2 days off or anything like that, you know what I mean? They weren't getting those things. So we got all that. So when we got to that rest, we were like, you needed it, you deserved it. All right, let's regroup. We're coming out today. You're at home. You got some rest, got some home cooking. What do you got? And turd on the floor.
Yeah.
But they took a dump right in the middle of the floor.
Eco Bean saying the Nuggets aren't all that. All the Bulls needed to do is stretch the floor by hitting threes and pick up the pace.
Well, there you go right there, Eco Bean. We just talked about that, bro.
A, the Nuggets are very much all that. That is a damn good team.
That's a very good team.
B, yeah, we just talked about how this team can't space the floor.
Or hit the threes. Like, those are the things they need to do, and they're like, we can't do it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
my God.
And so I saw somebody says Kobe's not a good shooter. But, again, you didn't hear what I said. I said the threat of Kobe White being out there is what will help space your floor because you have to account for him. Regardless, teams have to account for him. They're not going to account for Javonte Green back there. They're not going to account for Alex Caruso back there. But they have to say, oh, shit, Kobe White's back there. We've seen him go off from three. Somebody's got to run out there on him. That's all I'm talking about. You don't have the threat anymore. It's like having a gun with no bullets and not having one, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't hurt anybody with a gun with no bullet. You can't shoot it and fire it. But if you got it, it's a threat. You know what I'm saying? It's still a threat. They'll have to find out that it has no bullets. If you don't have the gun, they're like, well, you don't have shit. I don't have to worry about anything. Yeah. So that's what it's like, guys. You have to have some kind of weapon, you know what I'm saying, to protect yourself. And the Bulls' weapon is not there yet. And again, Matt is correct. Like we stated, it's not the only reason, you know what I'm saying, that they lost. There are many reasons they lost this game. This is just one of them I'm talking about.
All right, we got to take a quick break here. Plenty more coming up. More of your comments, an anger meter. Want to talk about some ideas in the comments about maybe the Bulls changing how they run this offense and who they run it through.
Hey, Joe Harris.
So we will come back to those comments in just a second. While we're taking a quick ad break, do us a favor and hit that thumbs up button on your screen. You know where it is. You know what it looks like. It looks like a thumb.
Hey, it does
One
look
of
like
these
that.
things. Big Dave.
Yes, sir.
Today's episode brought to our fellow Bulls fans by
ComEd Facility Assessments. Ooh. Oh, the fun stuff. Yeah. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, y'all, is committed to helping families and businesses in the communities we serve save money and energy. ComEd offers free facility assessments that can help find energy-saving opportunities, whether it's lighting, HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment, or industrial processes. I like saying processes, not processes. It sounds more fancy. You know, I go with the pro.
I go with pro-CCs.
Yo, why do I talk to him? And
I don't know.
An authorized engineer will work with you to develop a detailed assessment plan specific to your goals and needs. Listen up, Joey. These can be done in person or virtually and last approximately 2 hours. Won't take no time out of your day, Joey. Y'all know you're a busy man, but now you know you have a place, man. You got to get this right. You got to get this correct, sir.
Good to know.
And within 3 to 4 weeks, customers will receive a report detailing energy efficiency projects that they can start working on when? Immediately. Each recommendation will include estimated energy savings, cost savings, project costs, potential incentives, and a simple payback. Oh, so don't wait. Get started saving money and energy today. For energy saving tips and to schedule your free facility assessments, go to comed.com/poweringbiz. That's comed.com/poweringbiz. Or you can call them at 1-855-433-2700 during normal business hours to speak with the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program representative, or you can hit them up on the email, businessee@comed.com. That's business, 2 E's, capitalized, at comed.com. Or you can request an assessment online on that awesome website that is comed.com/facility assessment.
I choose business ethics.
Business.
Today's episode also brought to y'all out there at Bulls Nation by DraftKings. NBA fans, the wait's over. We are fully in to a fresh NBA season, so tip it off with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NBA and our official sports betting partner at CHGO. New customers can make any $5 moneyline bet on an NBA game and get $200 in free bets. Bet 5, win 200.
I like it.
And check this out. In addition to those $5 moneyline bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with the DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays.
Yeah.
Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place a stepped-up same-game parlay today. With payouts bigger than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook is where I go to bet on the NBA.
That's where he goes.
That's where Joey goes.
Where Joey goes.
That's where our guys Cody and Sean from CHGO Bets go.
They there all the time.
That's where all the cool people go.
That's where they at.
So download that DraftKings Sportsbook app now using promo code CHGO. And once again, that is a $5 moneyline bet on an NBA game, and you will get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only with promo code CHGO.
CHGO.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. Well, as we just wrapped up our DraftKings ad read, we should. We could have given it to Zach or DeMar, who, kind of maybe played basketball tonight. Yeah. We decided to give it to the man who made his presence felt in his, second or third game back now for Drummond after the shoulder?
Second game.
13 and 11 off the bench for your backup center. I will take that every damn night.
You look comfortable.
Yeah.
You look like he's
more like himself.
Yes, absolutely. I think he still had another kink or two to get out, but he looked comfortable though. Like, yeah, rebounds immediately as soon as he walked in the game. The pick and rolls that he was running with Dragic were back on point. You know, those things were good. The tip ins he was getting were good. And yeah, he didn't look confused or lost out there. And he did a good job. Now, for some reason, I didn't notice that he had moves on the baseline. I've noticed that for the past few games. When he gets the ball on the baseline, he actually has some moves over there on that side of the ball. I didn't realize that before. But yeah, 13 and 11 on 5 of 8 shooting. Nothing to sneeze at right there. Good job coming off the bench for Drummond.
Jep Rocks said, "Blow it all up, build around Drummond." Hey man, we're not the 2014 Pistons, all right?
Yeah, come on, guys.
Let's pump the brakes.
Which wasn't good either.
No, also not great.
Which was not a good thing. No.
Well, there it is though. Much appreciation to your DraftKings King of the Game, Andre Drummond, who actually was one of 2 players who looked like they gave a damn out there tonight.
Yeah.
Before we try and turn this around with some positive talk about what this team can do better, should we take care of the anger meter? Because I know,
Joey's been working.
Has some new bells and whistles.
Oh man, his whole
he wants
weekend.
to show off.
His whole weekend.
Okay.
I hope he didn't spend his whole weekend working on
that's when I walked
graphics
over
for the Peck anger meter.
Yes.
When I walked over here during halftime, that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
That's when
I
that
have
started.
faith in the fact that Joey has more of a life than that.
Nah.
That when we all get our
Took a
precious
weekend.
time away from this place that we love,
Yeah.
he's not spending it working on graphics.
I like the idea of him constantly working on the show and getting it
First
better.
of all, I'm
and
always
making it
thinking.
better.
I'm always thinking about the show.
That's what I'm talking about.
Always thinking
That's
about
what I'm
the show.
saying. He's
But
always
the
working on it. I like
people,
that.
from what I believe, like the anger meter. So here we go. Anger meter introduction.
Anger meter. Ooh.
All right, let's see what's at today. What's it at? Scale of 1 to 10. 1 to 100. 74.
Yeah. Look,
1 to 100. 1 to 100.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Like when we took that L to the Pelicans on Wednesday, I sat here and said, "Hey, y'all, calm down. That was a quality team. The Bulls played well, just didn't make enough plays down the stretch to get the W." Tonight, not only did you not play well, you play like you didn't give a shit, and those are the nights that get me pissed off.
Yeah.
This is a good Denver team.
Very.
So it's not like I would have only accepted a victory and been very pissed off with anything other than victory.
Yeah.
Because that is a very good team we just lost to.
Yeah.
But we got our asses kicked. And mostly, from what I saw, we got our asses kicked because they were running circles around us and we looked like we had no interest in playing. That leads to angry Matt. I don't care if it's November or February or frickin' Summer League.
Yeah.
If you look like you don't give a shit, then as someone who does give a shit, it makes me angry as shit.
Okay. Fair enough.
Shit.
Uh-oh. I felt that one. That was coming. I felt the hat throw coming. There it is. Let's get it, Joey. There it is. Right there. There.
We need a breaking glass sound effect.
Like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right, but like in the background, like,
Yes.
like things are breaking back here.
I agree with you. Oh, as soon as the hat goes back there.
Exactly.
Well, that's on you. You got to be on your timing.
I know. It's quick.
Yeah,
It's a lot of.
be on your timing, brother.
I'm gonna tie it in with the graphic. As soon as it comes up, it's tied in with the sign.
Look, you're scaring Sarah, Matt. Right there. You've scared Sarah. like, come on, what's going on?
I'm not going. I'm harmless. I just sit in this chair and yell, and occasionally
Kind of is. He's just an angry man.
Throw
That's
my
all.
headgear.
It's an
That's
angry
all.
man. He's not a danger to others. He's
But
more of a danger to himself.
I'm not. Thank you, Joey. Where's my hat bucket? I don't actually need a hat bucket. I mean, I do.
You do,
but not right this
Not
second.
at this moment in time. Yes.
But I mean, I'm not crazy. I'm not alone, right? Like that.
No,
that pissed you
no.
off too, right?
No,
that was
Matt. You know me by now. The one thing that pisses me off more than anything is lack of effort. That always will always piss me off. And you're absolutely right in everything you said. It just looked like they were like, and going through the motions. I didn't. It was like they weren't running plays. It's like they weren't playing the right defense. So it was just so many wide open shooters against the best 3-point shooting team. I'm sure Billy had that on the scouting report. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Billy had written down, hey, these guys are really good at shooting threes. We might want to guard that a little bit. Guys did not do that tonight. And that was the frustrating part. And everybody's accountable on that. Like you said, there were a few guys I thought that put out that effort. So like you said, Drummond. I thought Ayo. There was a few guys that I thought Pat put out some effort there too. But everybody else, and especially your main guys, I didn't like their effort tonight. Zach just had a tough. Goodness, he had a tough shooting game, but he took some shots. I was like, no, bro, don't do that. No, that's not it. That's not the shot to do. It was a tough night, but the lack of effort, Matt, will always and forever frustrate me with the Chicago Bulls or any team that I love. You got to put in the effort out there, especially coming off of the loss you had and having time off. Because now I don't know what you lean on as far as the reason why you didn't have that effort tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's some people wilding out in the comments. We got a lot of people calling for Billy's job.
Bulls fans, baby, and we love y'all.
People saying blow it up. So I just saw somebody said $250 million down the drain. I assume you're referring to Zach's contract because he got played like the all-star player that he is.
14 games.
You know what stupid is? It's about to get all stupid up in here.
But look, let's try to have a constructive conversation here.
Okay.
And this is a jumping off point from Connor, who earlier tonight in the comments said, other than Dragic, Vooch is the best half-court facilitator on this team. It makes no sense why we don't make him the de facto number one option to force those doubles down low and free up some driving lanes. Now, for starters, I do agree that Vooch is a underappreciated element to how the ball moves on this Bulls offense.
Yeah.
And he's pretty solid at passing out of doubles when he is the one who's doubled.
No question.
Or as that fulcrum swing guy when he receives that outlet pass when DeMar or Zach is doubled out on the perimeter. We know all these things that Vooch is good at. Tonight, it's weird to look at this Bulls half-court offense and say it's broken when if you're talking about just quality of sharing the ball, here are the shot attempts tonight. Zach 15, DeMar 11, Vooch 10, Pat 9, Ayo 9. That's pretty damn even. Mm-hmm. One of your two All-Stars took the most shots at 15, and no other starter shot fewer than 9. Now, I do agree also that Dragic seems to be the only true point guard on this team right now who can find his guys all over the floor wherever he is and wherever they are and do so in a lot of beautiful, creative ways. That's not a knock on Ayo, who I still think is working his way into figuring out how to play at this point guard position.
Absolutely.
And also doing so while DeMar and or Zach have the ball in their hands so much.
Yeah, still trying to kind of find his way.
Yeah.
Kind of things. Kind of similar with Pat, finding his way. And I thought he found some of it tonight. The way he played. Yeah, I don't know if it's time. I don't know if you're saying this, but you can tell me if you're saying this or not. Hinting at changing some things around as far as lineup changes and things like that you might want to see going forward. But again, that was one of the things which I love about Billy Donovan, not beholden to anything or any lineup out there. So if it's time to try something new, I think he will. He doesn't strike me as somebody who is stubborn. The years that he's been here, that's one thing I've never seen from him is him just saying, nope, this is it. Nope, this is it. Nope, shut up. We're doing this, and that's it. No, he tries things, especially even if it's going well. You know what I'm saying? He would try something else just to try it. So I think you'll see that. The lineup we saw tonight, I thought was a new one when you saw Dragic playing with the starters. Mm-hmm. That was a change of a lineup right there. That I hadn't seen before. So, yeah, I think he'll implement some new things going forward because I'm sure he wasn't happy with this effort tonight. I'm sure we talked to Will. We'll get into that. But I'm sure he wasn't happy with what he saw on that floor tonight with how those guys came out. Came out. That was the problem, man. That's how they came out. You know what I'm saying? With it. It was just, it was tough, man. It was a tough one for the Bulls.
On the side, Jock saying, why is everyone so good when they leave the Bulls? Marketing killing it right now. See how that Jazz Sixers game went down tonight, Jock? Because Embiid smacked those hot and unexpectedly good Jazz right across the face with his 59.
And the answer always, guys, is, when you're out of a spotlight, sometimes you play a little bit better because look at where they're doing it. Now, I will point to that all the time. Lowry's at the house. You know what I'm saying? He's home, bro.
He is home.
He's home. You know what I mean? He's at the house chilling. You know what I mean? Mama's cooking up food in the kitchen right now. He's chilling at the house. Wendell went to Disneyland. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody looking at you down there, man. They balling. You know what I mean? Down there. Now, if they're doing this in places like New York, L.A., you know what I mean? Is Troy Brown Jr. doing these things in L.A.? Anybody?
Oh, God.
Anybody? No? Anybody? Raise your hand.
I just
No?
saw somebody else in the comments saying, would you do a Kobe White for Westbrook trade and have Westbrook come off the bench once
That fixes the shooting
Lonzo
problems.
comes back? Dude. I
That
mean,
wouldn't work. He's not coming off the bench.
did you see that Westbrook recently became the odds-on favorite to win Sixth Man of the Year just because of this stretch of games that he's had coming off the bench?
He's had some impressive stretch
For
of
a
games.
team with 2 wins.
2 of them things.
2 wins.
2 of them things.
2 wins.
Who said bring back Matty Legend? I saw
The
that.
Lakers did play tonight, so I
Shout
don't know
out.
what they're doing tonight, but
Shout out Fontaine.
they're actually beating the Brooklyn Nets by 12 early in the third quarter.
Oh yeah, Brooklyn's been playing well too.
Yeah, they have. But no, that's a hard pass on Russell Westbrook.
What about Matty Legend?
Bring him back immediately.
Yes.
This team needs the 3-point shooting.
You need the threat. You ain't been the same without him.
I've finally caved, Dave.
Yes.
It took one more dog shit performance from the Bulls behind the 3-point line
Yes.
to get me all in.
Bring him.
I don't know where Matty Legend is right now.
He's in the Alps.
Call him, put up the Matty Legend bat signal
That's
above
right.
the skyline of Chicago.
I'll be on the roof.
Get his ass back.
I'll be on the roof.
He doesn't get
man.
a private plane back to Chicago. We can send a van for him.
Oh, he's got his
to
own
bring him
G5.
back to the city.
He's got his own G5.
He's got. You think Matt Thomas
Yep.
has his own G5?
I sure do.
I don't think every collective piece of salary he's gotten as an NBA player would add up to half of the cost of a G5
Listen,
airplane.
man. You know when you're the greatest shooter in the world,
Okay.
you know you get certain perks. You know what I mean? You get certain things that aren't talked about. So yeah, Matty Legend got that for sure. Shout out. Bring him back, man. You need the shooting. I'm just saying you need it. You know what I mean? You can use it. Yes, Mr. 99. Tell him, Power, Mr. 99. Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Did we really get a?
He doesn't just have a G5. Big Dave is flying the plane.
a G5 to a limo?
You know what I'm saying?
He's got the Gucci bag.
Salute.
Big Dave is there.
I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
This is your
look
captain
really,
speaking.
Really crisp and handsome as an airline pilot.
I won't disagree with you.
Look
at
at
all.
that.
I'm amazing.
White
looking
shirt,
against
black
that.
tie,
Yeah, I do things, man.
captain hat.
I'm kind of fly, man.
We should fly a plane together
I
sometime.
think that. I don't know where we're going, like that.
No.
Like, isn't this where Joakim Noah
It's like-
stays? Like, where are we going, man?
It's like those two side characters from Little Nicky, you know, his friends.
Yeah,
At the end credits, it's like they stocked their plane with good music and a bunch of booze. Unfortunately, they forgot to stock it with pilots and died shortly after takeoff.
Oh my god!
Yikes.
Oh man!
Long way round. I honestly don't know what the answer is to this Bulls half-court offense problem.
Yeah.
As far as who's initiating the offense, whether it's DeMar,
Yeah.
Zach, Io, trying to run things through Vooch.
Right.
Right now, what appears to be the case is that they're getting off the slow starts offensively,
Yeah.
while their opponents are getting off the hot starts, like they did again tonight. Bulls dug themselves a hole, tried maybe twice to get back from it, and
They
failed.
did.
But if you are Billy Donovan, and this question goes out to all of you watching out there in Bulls Nation in our comments who are saying, fire Billy, fire Billy, fire Billy. If you're Billy, what do you do differently as far as running your half-court sets offensively compared to what you did tonight?
That's very true.
That's the question that I want to know the answer to.
Yeah, because you're not running the offense based on 3-point shooting. You know what I'm saying? So we can remove that. So it has to be
The man is working with certain limitations on what this roster is capable of doing.
Absolutely. So all you're basically doing is mid-range and inside is what you're looking at, and shot creation at the same time. So you're looking at, let's look at your guys who are the mid-range. Who is that? You got DeMar for sure. You got Zach. Zach is cool. He's more of a 3-point shooter, but he can shoot a nice, beautiful mid-range when he wants. Vooch, kinda. You know what I mean? Pat Will working on it. You know what I mean? Those are the guys who are like, I'm like, those are your mid-range. I'm talking about the starters. Inside, obviously, it starts with Vooch. Like, Vooch is your inside, presence, your inside threat, who you want to be down there. And I think that's kind of where you want to start, personally. That's just me. you just want to start from the inside out. You know what I mean? You want to start there because Vooch, it's always good to get the big guy going, especially the one who, when he gets the ball, it moves. It always moves. He can find the open shooters and things like that. So I want the ball in his hands on the post. Get him a mismatch. You know what I mean? You run that pick and roll with that as well. Ayo is great inside running those pick and rolls, especially with those pocket passes he does. Right. He can do that as well. That's really good. So those things, I like them running from the inside. The other side of it is having DeMar with the basketball. Teams are now planning for this. Yeah. That's why you're starting to see that struggle come from DeMar DeRozan, and they immediately are getting the ball out of his hands. And it's a lot of jump passes for DeMar. And stuff doesn't lead to good things. You know what I'm saying, when that happens. Zach LaVine dribbling. You know, I sit there and count those dribbles, man. You know, I'm watching it, and I'm like, no, put it, pass it, turnover. Mm-hmm. Pass it, dribble off the foot. pass it, air ball. So, yeah, those things. But I think, bottom line for me, it starts from the inside. It has to go through Vooch and work its way around to everyone else. But I think it has to start with him.
Different ideas in the comments. Ryan saying, look at the down screens the Nuggets ran frequently tonight. The Bulls should do that. Jermaine saying, run the offense through Vooch. Got a few people agreeing with him on that. AK saying, with Lonzo, Zach, and Vooch, our starting 3-point shooting could be okay. With Dragic, Kobe, and Ayo, our bench 3-point shooting would be okay, theoretically. You know, that's the problem, is that theoretically this team has just enough 3-point shooting when guys who aren't known to be lethal 3-point threats are knocking them down. And they have a roster full of guys outside of Zach and Kobe, and now this season, hopefully maybe also Dragic, and on some random nights Vooch. That's it. Nobody else can you really rely on a nightly basis to hit a three.
And that's the other side of the coin with running the ball through Vooch inside. Because what it's supposed to do is open up shooters around you. Once you get a ball and he gets going inside, they're going to send a double team.
Who he can then spray really beautiful on-point passes to.
Absolutely.
But if those passes are going to Caruso, Javante, Derrick Jones Jr., should I keep going? Because I don't want
to. And that's your problem with that right there, is now then it just becomes a double team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, now we got all kinds of problems right here. But that's the issue. That's the other side of that issue right there. Because you can't do that and pass it into the mid range. Like, that's poor spacing. You know what I mean? That's throwing everything off. So you got to get shooters, man. Joe Harris, you got to get some shooters out here, guys with the threat of that. And but it has to start inside, though. I do believe that it does have to start inside.
We're gonna have a quick check-in with our guy Will the Goat while we bring him in. Big Dave, one more word from one more sponsor. While he's doing that, all y'all out there in Bulls Nation, hit that thumbs up button.
Hit it,
please and thank you.
Joey, what time is it?
Game time.
It's the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. Ever dreamed of sitting in that seat you thought you never could? That 50-yard line courtside behind home plate, floor seats at the concert? It's all possible with the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops that could be found on seats you thought your pretty wonderful self could never buy. You won't find better deals this season on Bulls tickets, y'all. You just won't do it. And just like here at CHGO, it is created by the fans and for the fans. And it guarantees you out there the lowest price possible. So if you love CHGO, and we know that you do, then you'll love Game Time. The best way to support us is by buying those tickets through the link in the description. You'll see it at the bottom. And before you get to that bottom, click that like button for me one time, baby. Just hit that thumbs up. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app and scored the best seats to all your favorite events. Because Angry Matt Peck, what time is it?
Game time, damn who?
There he is. He's ready to play.
Are we ready to bring in the GOAT?
Yeah. Yes.
I thought we had two ads there.
Nope, just the one.
Just the one.
Just one.
Hey.
Speaking of one.
This man is one of one.
Got that right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to Bulls Postgame.
What's wrong with that goat?
That goat sounds a little sickly.
The goat's broken.
It's the same goat as always. Same goat as
man.
always.
Will the Goat Gottlieb. Follow him on Twitter at Will_Gottlieb to get all of his Bulls reporting. Make sure you're reading everything he writes at allchgo.com. William, that game sucked. That Bulls effort sucked. Did it suck as much from your eyes and your vantage point as from ours?
I would say so. I mean, I was thinking back about how this game compares to some of the other games the Bulls have played this year, and it stands out next to the Cavs game on October 22nd of just like completely not competitive. And can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm talking to Joey. Go ahead, please.
Oh, okay. You're throwing me off, man. I'm not in my seat. I just don't know what's going on.
I couldn't hear your dulcet tones, man. I was telling him to turn the sound. I couldn't hear you. That's all.
But yeah, I mean, it was like probably the second really terrible game from the Bulls all year, which, when you look at it that way, not the worst thing in the world. These games are going to happen. But yeah, I mean, just completely not competitive against a team that you really want to prove that you can compete with, right? I mean, 2-time MVP. They're a team that I think a lot of people, myself included, feel like could be, a team that comes out of the West that's, headed to the finals. They're really, really good. And to get just beaten down like that, a lot of people were talking about energy after the game, and they hadn't played since Wednesday. It's like pretty weird that they came out as flat as they did. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't just that to me. It was like the way that the Nuggets were just picking them apart. Jokic had 4 field goal attempts, you guys. He had 8 points and 14 assists in 28 minutes, and he just absolutely sliced the Bulls up. And he wasn't even like trying to post up and score. He was just standing on the perimeter finding back cutters. The Bulls just had no chance to guard anybody else, and like you can't double team him if he's not putting pressure on the rim to score. So really just a strange performance. I think they came out and just like had no idea what to do to try to stop these guys, and that was just kind of it.
Yeah, well, I think that's the weird part that we were discussing here is even after that last loss, it was the fact that they finally got some time off. So we thought that, getting a little home cooking, you would come out with a little more energy tonight, and they just did not have that from the first quarter on. Did Billy talk about that in the press conference, excuse me?
He did, yeah. Zach talked about it as well, but Billy, I just posted a video on Twitter, so you can go check that out. But basically, I mean, his message was very similar to the ones that we heard last year, which is like this team, sometimes they get hit in the face and they cannot get through adversity, right? Like we saw this all the way down the stretch of like they get off to these slow starts. Can you respond? Can you get over the fact that Pat Connaughton hit a 3 in the corner and got fouled, or is that game over after 4 minutes into the first quarter? I think that same kind of issue happened tonight, but at the same time, they really just didn't even have a chance to beat this team. I think even if they did stay competitive because of how good Jokic is and the way that the Nuggets were just making some incredibly difficult threes, and that just never stopped. So that's going to be difficult, but you have to find a way to beat, to get through that adversity, and the Bulls just could not do that last night. And so it kind of reminded me of one of those late season losses last night. Zach, after the game, was just like, that was unacceptable. 1 through 15, coaches, myself, starters, like everybody's got to be better. And they all get it. They know that. But at a certain point, like there's only so much you can say. You have to go out and prove it. And so they have a break now until Wednesday when they play the Pelicans in New Orleans. So hopefully they come out with a little bit more energy and enthusiasm, and just attention to detail, I think is another big thing there when they play them on Wednesday.
Will, before you hopped on, we spent some time on postgame tonight talking about some of the struggles that we've seen from this Bulls offense in the half court in recent games and recent losses, and wondering if Billy should do anything differently as far as who's bringing the ball up primarily, if they should run more sets through Vooch, when does Ayo run things and initiate versus Zach or DeMar, and people have a lot of ideas all over the board. The one thing that I think everyone in Bulls Nation agrees upon right now is that this team does not have enough shooting, and that hinders any kind of half-court offense you're trying to run when the end result is kicking open or finding guys coming around screens or coming off pin downs to shoot open threes. The Bulls lost a 3-point contest tonight by 21 points, and they lost the game by 23 points. In a lot of ways, it's as simple as that, but what, if anything, differently did you see as far as what this Bulls offense could do? You'd mentioned that, the Nuggets picked them apart on the other end, but Is it as simple as, look, the Bulls lost a 3-point contest by 21 points tonight?
Yeah, it's a tough question because I think the Bulls are trying to play to this faster paced transition identity that they've sort of developed here over the first handful of games. And I think that it's difficult during the regular season to make some of these adjustments on the fly when you're facing a different team every night. But to me, this is the kind of game where they needed to just attack Jokic and pick and roll. They needed to give DeMar the ball and bring Vooch up to set a screen and attack Jokic and make him defend. They didn't do that at all. I think the Nuggets have done a really good job bringing help and trapping to try to take some of that pressure off of Jokic. But like in the playoffs, the reason the Warriors beat them as easily as they did is because they got Jokic on Steph on an island, and he just has no chance. And I think the Bulls, you have guys as lethal offensively as one-on-one scorers as DeMar and Zach. Like you have no excuse to not do that. So I thought that was really weird. But again, that's just against this one team. I think in general, they're trying to stay away from that. And so it's hard to like really criticize them if you're trying to play to a certain style throughout the course of the season. But you're absolutely right. I mean, the shooting is a huge problem. We've talked about it since last year. We talked about it over the summer. We've talked about it pretty much every day because it is a real problem when you're swinging the ball around the perimeter. You're trying to do all the right things. You're trying to make the right reads. You're trying to move the ball. And you get the ball to the corner shooter, and he tries to drive it into the paint, or he steps out of bounds trying to drive it, and you've just killed the play. Like you killed the advantage. And so it's really difficult to utilize the passing that that you're doing so well when you can't like put the final touches on that play. You can't actually put the ball in the basket. And so I absolutely think the corner shooting is a thing. I think that's why you saw some hesitation from Patrick and Ayo and Javante and Derek Jones tonight. Like those guys are all rhythm shooters, and when they start hitting them, they'll shoot them. And if they miss a few, then they're going to pass them up. And it's really difficult to win when you have guys that are just unwilling to shoot, especially when the other team, Michael Porter Jr. had like 7 threes tonight.
6 and 9.
6 for 9. So it's hard to compete when you're sacrificing 21 points on threes alone.
Yeah, one of those things I talked about, Will, was Kobe White missing. And I keep saying it's not so much that, Kobe White being a great shooter or a bad shooter, however you want to argue it, but he's a threat. And the Bulls don't have a threat that teams have to account for now. And that's why I think missing him and not having him there is so important. The other reason, I'm saying all that to ask this question. Was there any more news on Kobe White coming back, or is it still kind of in the same place of he's still really dealing with this deep thigh contusion?
Yeah, it seems like that is still a problem. The quote from earlier today prior to the game was, the biggest issue is the swelling subsiding in his leg. He's been able to do some light running, but he doesn't have full range of motion in that leg. The medical guys feel good about the progress he's making. It's been like 2 weeks. I mean,
yeah.
if this is like a thigh contusion, it's a pretty long time. I'm not really sure if there's anything more to it or if this is just the normal recovery process. But you're absolutely right. I mean, and this is why we talked about it, right before the season started, of like Kobe has a chance to make an impact here because he's the one non-Zach shooter on this entire team, with Lonzo out for as long as he will be. So they definitely miss him. You see, like I said, guys passing up open threes in the corner. You see the Bulls not being able to play as fast as they want to. Dragic is being mixed in with the starting group a little bit today. They need more. They need to be able to put more pressure on the rim and then take advantage in those situations. And I think we saw a little bit of the first, but not enough of the second.
Yeah, agreed.
Thoughts on Pat tonight, Will? I know we've been giving kind of a close eye to Pat on most nights recently once he started to show a bit more of a pulse. Dave and I agree that he looked more engaged tonight. He looked more competent offensively. There were a couple plays, one in particular down low where he shoved his body, threw his weight around a little bit more against Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. once as well. That was nice to see. I think he tacked on a few more points in garbage time, but what do you think about Pat tonight?
Yeah, I was going to say, is 15 his season high? He scored 16 against the Hornets the other week. So no, but yeah, I thought he was okay. He had a really difficult night guarding Michael Porter Jr. and the times where he would get switched on to Jamal Murray, where, Pat is a fine defender. I think he's a little overrated, but he's really, really bad when he's got to chase smaller guards around. That's something that he's good at skill-wise. And so he's much better having to defend bigger wings. And when those guys are just rising up and shooting right over him and shooting 6 for 9, it's like, well, what do you do? I thought he played all right. He was a little quiet, but everybody was quiet tonight. So it was hard to really blame him for that. And then, yeah, like you said, he stepped in towards the end of the game and tacked on a few points. But I guess all that to say, he didn't really stand out to me one way or the other. He just kind of existed. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
How do you bounce back from this? You got now another little mini vacation. If you're the Bulls, they're off tomorrow. They're off Tuesday. They play again Wednesday. Rematch against the Pels, who they lost to last week. This time on their home floor. If you're Billy, what's the message? I know you mentioned that he and Zach talked about the lack of effort tonight. Where do they go from here?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Nuggets are a particularly bad matchup if you're not going to attack Jokic the way that I mentioned before. They've got the Pelicans again on Wednesday. They played much better. So maybe there's just like a better chance there with the matchup. But I mean, this just seems like one of those bad games that you kind of need to wash the taste out of your mouth, and they don't have a chance to do that now for a couple of days. So maybe they'll just stew in this and then come out strong on Wednesday. But at the end of the day, like, for me, effort was not like, this was a problem. And I think that, maybe you can apply that to the rough first quarters, but I think there's more to it there where that first unit is just not gelling the right way. And I mean, they've struggled all year long. They've struggled in the first quarter. They've struggled to close games. Something's up with them. And I think that's really the bigger issue than, what's going on with the energy. Why aren't we starting the game, playing harder? I think there's more strategy missing there.
Will, we appreciate you popping into postgame as always when you're working those games from the UC. Everybody make sure you're following Will on Twitter, Will_Gottlieb, for all of his Bulls analysis and reporting. Make sure you're reading everything he's writing for us, all CHGO.com, including his thoughts on tonight's loss to the Denver Nuggets. Will, we will see you in studio tomorrow, yes?
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
Whoop, whoop. Have a good night, buddy. Get home safe for the Madhouse. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Will the Go Gottlieb, ladies and gentlemen. You know why he said he was looking forward to our show tomorrow?
Why is that, Matt?
Well, I'm going to be here. You're going to be here.
Uh-huh.
Joey, you're going to be here.
Uh-huh.
Will's going to be here.
Uh-huh.
You know who else is going to be here?
Who that, Matt?
Io.
Hey!
Ayo DeSumo.
The sumo?
The guy who wears Bulls jersey
That guy?
with the number 12 on it
That one?
starts at point guard.
The tall dude?
The one we were just watching play.
The good player with the nice hair? That guy?
That guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice guy, nice hair, nice player.
Guy. That's all facts.
Io in studio with us tomorrow, 2:30 Central Time.
Be there.
Be there. If you can't be there, set a reminder to come check it out on YouTube after the fact in our archived episodes or in your podcast feeds.
Be there that way.
But most of you cool people should be there live.
Yes.
Maybe we'll let some of y'all ask some questions
We'll see.
for Io. Maybe we'll talk a little hoops.
Little.
Probably plenty of talking about just what's up, Io.
Yeah.
How's things?
Speaking of that,
how's life?
Joey, before we get out of here, can I get another Justin Fields highlight before we get out of
have
here,
any?
man? I just
would be-
we talked about
would be
washing
nice.
the taste out of my mouth.
Would be
and
nice.
stuff.
That would be a good palate cleanser.
good palate cleanser.
After we
let's watch
just spent
Justin.
an hour talking about how much the Bulls suck.
Fields on the angle, trying to outrace Okuda. For the
Crown him.
I love that, man.
Yay.
You know, I mean, the Bulls always have that number one spot in my heart. But right now, this
That
man,
guy, the one with number 1 on his jersey,
this man
that man,
who throws footballs for the Chicago Bears,
and runs them too.
he's number 1 in my heart right now.
Pretty damn special, man.
And he will be until Io walks through our door.
Yes.
And then
This is my house.
that's right, Stewie. It's my house. Even though they couldn't get the W. Unfortunately, Soldier Field was
DraftKings.
By 1 point, the
DraftKings.
Lions house tonight.
Went from 16 to 6 tonight, guys.
I like it. I'm for it.
Come on.
Huge draft W today.
Seriously.
All right, y'all, we are out. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already before you head out. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Have a great start to your week. Tomorrow,
Do that.
we will be here 2:30 Central Time
Desumu
with our guy Io.
in studio
Yup.
with us.
Yup.
We're here.
Yup.
Be there.
Yup.
Love y'all.
For Joey, for Will, for Big Dave, I'm Peck. Appreciate y'all, Bulls Nation. Love ya. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you right. Be good.
Peace.